and we'll be discussing and looking at some of the manifestations of this insulin resistance syndrome. What is insulin resistance? It's actually your own body becomes resistant to the action of your own insulin, in simple words. You are producing insulin, but your body is resistant to its action. This resistance to insulin develops at 3 levels: muscle, fat, and liver. So this is what happens when you develop insulin resistance at the level of muscle. Normally, the action of insulin at the muscle cell is to drive glucose from blood into the cell. But when insulin resistance develops, then it's as if the doors in the wall of the cell become resistant to the action of insulin. The doors become more difficult to open. So there's no problem with insulin. The problem is with the doors, and there are doors in the wall of the cell. Okay? So as if the hinges on the door get rusty, and the doors become more difficult to open. Now in order to open the doors, you need more dormant, and that's exactly what body does. It produces more insulin. So by producing more insulin, by sending more dormant, it's able to open the doors, and your blood glucose stays normal. But at the expense of a very high level of insulin. So that's the price you pay. Even if you don't have pre-diabetes, diabetes, everything looks perfect, but in very early stages of IRS, all you have is high level of insulin. And because of that high level of insulin, you develop high blood pressure, you develop narrowing of the blood vessels throughout your body, including coronary arteries. So, insulin causes growth of tissues, including malignant cancerous tissues. So that's why high insulin level is a big growth promoting factor for cancer. So what happens when insulin resistance develops at the level of fat cell? If fat where it belongs, in the fat cell. When there is resistance to the action of insulin, there is increase in the breakdown product of fat called free fatty acids in the bloodstream. And that high level of free fatty acids in the bloodstream causes high level of triglycerides. So remember, that was one of the components of IRS, high triglycerides. That's how it happens. And then there is an interaction between this high triglyceride and HDL cholesterol in such a way that your HDL cholesterol goes down. LDL or bad cholesterol, which is of 2 types, type A and type B. Type A is not that bad, type B is really bad. Insulin resistance changes that pattern from type A to type B. So your LDL cholesterol for the same quantity becomes a whole lot more dangerous. This is what happens when insulin resistance develops at the level of liver. There is increased flux of free fatty acids into the liver, and with high level of insulin at the level of liver, it causes increased production of what we call VLDL cholesterol, very low density lipoprotein, and it gets deposited in the liver cells. So the liver cells get fatty and give rise to this condition we call fatty liver. And if it remains untreated, eventually it can lead to cirrhosis of liver. One of the functions of liver is to keep providing glucose even if we starve. But when insulin resistance develops, then this production of glucose by the liver gets in very high gear. We call it increase in gluconeogenesis. And with that increased production of glucose by the liver, your fasting glucose gets pretty elevated. So with time, what happens that insulin resistance continues to get worse if you don't treat it. And then pancreas cannot continue to churn up all this huge level of insulin, and at that time your blood sugar starts rising. Initially we call it pre-diabetes, and later on it gets to a more advanced stage and we call it diabetes. And this is the diagnosis of pre-diabetes. If your fasting blood sugar is between 100 and 125, we call it prediabetes. If you have 2 hours glucose tolerance test, and if your 2 hours glucose is between 140 and 200, we call it prediabetes. For the diagnosis of diabetes, if your fasting blood sugar is more than 125, or on 2 hours glucose tolerance test, it is more than 200 at 2 hours, or your hemoglobin A1C is more than 6.5. Any one of these will constitute your diagnosis of diabetes. Just a comment, oral glucose tolerance test can diagnose your diabetes years before any other blood test will. On an average, 1 to 2 decades of insulin resistance go by before someone gets diagnosed with prediabetes or diabetes. But during this time, due to high level of insulin, due to low HDL cholesterol, atherosclerosis is developing in your blood vessels, which is narrowing of the blood vessels, deposition of cholesterol in your blood vessels. What happened, that LDL cholesterol we talked about, it becomes very atherogenic. It gets deposited real easy into the blood vessel wall. And when your HDL is low, HDL is good cholesterol because it cleans out the buildup of this gunk in the blood vessel wall. It's as if we call them the sweepers of the blood vessel wall. Okay? So in insulin resistance, it is like the sweepers have gone on strike. So you have very low HDL, so the sweepers cannot clean out the gunk, and that's why there is increased atherosclerosis. So that's the net effect of insulin resistance syndrome. And that's why anyone who has insulin resistance syndrome, they are at very high risk for having heart attack and stroke, and many people actually, they suffer this heart attack or stroke even before they are diagnosed with diabetes. So these are, in a nutshell, this is the whole insulin resistance syndrome. High insulin level, high blood pressure, low HDL cholesterol, high triglycerides, LDL cholesterol type B, coronary artery disease, prediabetes, diabetes, stroke, mini strokes, and multiple mini strokes can lead to dementia, what we call vascular dementia, cancer growth, fatty liver, which if left untreated can lead to cirrhosis, and polycystic ovary syndrome in female. Also add one more, gout, high uric acid and gout. So most individuals with IRS, they have abdominal obesity, low HDL cholesterol and high triglycerides. In more advanced stages, people develop high blood pressure, and in even more advanced stages, they develop prediabetes, they become diabetic. Also, heart disease can develop at any time, even in early stages of IRS, in the middle stages of IRS, or in the advanced stages of IRS. So there are some people who have insulin resistance, and genetically, they cannot produce too much insulin for too long. So they become diabetic at relatively early age, like in their 30s and 40s. And then there are individuals, again, genetically determined, who continue to produce large amount of insulin. So they do not develop diabetes until they are in their 60s and 70s. 35-year-old male came to see me after he had 2 angioplasties, and then bypass surgery of his heart, all within 6 months period. Triglycerides 184, a little high. HDL cholesterol 24, very low. LDL cholesterol was type B. And his fasting blood glucose 92, perfectly normal. So I diagnosed him with IRS. Coronary artery disease was the consequence of this IRS.